What's up, guys? This is the Squirrel64 here with Of Dragons Men, bringing you something special we hunted down for you today. If you've been following along with one of our newest playlists, we've been opening all the collector's editions for the guides and the games for Dark Souls, specifically 1, 2, and 3. At some point, we may add in Demon Souls and Bloodborne, but right now we're focusing on just the Souls trilogy. Well, at release, we were able to pick up a collector's edition of the Dark Souls 3 guide, and we were also able to pick up a Dark Souls 2 Collector's Edition guide, both of which you can see on this playlist. Well, after some hunting, some looking around, we finally were able to get our hands on the Dark Souls 1 Collector's Edition. This one, for a used copy, some of them are retailing about $75 to $85. For used, which this is a used copy, for like new, you can go anywhere up to like $150 to $200. Brand new copies are running right now on eBay between $250 and $350. So they're kind of hard to find, they're kind of pricey, but we hunted one down just to share it with you guys. So without any further ado, we're going to crack into this piece of history. Now, the Dark Souls 1 Collector's Guide is produced by Future Press. Actually, I'm sorry guys, this is a sealed copy of the Dark Souls guide, I believe. Yes, it is a brand new sealed copy. Let's get that to focus in. So, lied to you guys a little bit there. It's actually not a used copy. I ordered a used copy, but somehow, for whatever reason, they sent me a brand new one. So we really get to open a piece of history for you guys here. It's funny, originally they were retailing for $24.99 in the US. I think this copy, we picked it up for like $84, $85 through Amazon. But brand new copy. So let's crack into it. Actually, gonna have to get my knife out for this plastic. There we go. Feel the value. Alright, so we have the back cover slip here. Dark Souls, the official guide. Prepare to die less. Going into Dark Souls unaided will get you killed. A lot of the game's enemies are relentless, and its areas labyrinthine. Death lurks around every corner. Even armed with the knowledge of the game that this guide provides, you're still certain to die at least a few times. But at least you'll have a chance to make it through alive. This is a true survival guide for a game that's almost impossible to survive. And it includes an enemy encyclopedia, the area guide walkthrough, the weapons and equipment guide, a list of the magic and items, side quest mastery, and everything uncovered. So it's the complete guide to the original Dark Souls. Let's see, the front cover there. Got the knight on it. Again, they are produced by Future Press. And it's just a blank backside. I believe this art here on the inside cover is actually the art on the metal book for the collector's edition of the game. Again, just a little introduction about preparing to die less. Brief notes on the chapter overviews and the Future Press video codes, and then we have a table of contents over here. So, Chapter 1. There we go. Chapter 1 is just going to be a brief introduction of the game system and the basic game mechanics. Getting started, picking your classes, what the different traits do, how to spend attribute points, game flow, controlling the camera, how to level up and, what leveling up will get you and how much it costs. Just all the basics of the game that any Souls player learns pretty quickly. Humanity, what that does for you. Estus flasks and how they work. Inventory and equipment. Just a quick rundown of all the basics there. An introduction to the combat, which, for those of us who've been playing it for a while, needs no introduction. Status ailments, and then some basic information about online mode and NPCs. Then we move on to Chapter 2, which is the enemy guide. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get that glare off that for you. Well, maybe not. We'll do our best here. There we go. So, area maps. Obviously, starting on Dead Asylum, and it's just going to kind of run you through all the bosses and areas from there. Definitely a good resource, especially if you're going back through and trying to run different challenge runs or anything. As with any of these guides, I would suggest playing the game before you crack into the guides. That first blind playthrough is just not something you're going to want to ruin with the spoilers that are in the guide. But yeah, so just more area information. More bosses. Here we go. Enemy data reference. And then we have Chapter 3, which is... Okay, so Chapter 2 is the enemy guide. Chapter 3 is actually the area guide. It's going to have maps, tell you where all the items are, where the bonfires are, what the paths are. So you can do some speedrun strats and things like that with this. And that's going to be another long section. The enemy guides and the area maps are the bulk of the guides for the Dark Souls series. Understandably. Ooh. Chapter 4 is a weapons and equipment guide. It's just going to give you information on all the weapons, requirements for wielding them, how to upgrade them, what builds they run best in, things like that. Bows, shields. And then all the armor. I'll give you all the information that's pertinent about armor sets. Sorry. And then we move on to Chapter 5, which covers magic and items. So we have a list of all the different consumables, what they do, why they're important, all the keys, your sorceries, more sorceries, miracles, all the different rings. And then we get to Chapter 6, which is titled Extras. And this will give you information on all the NPCs, event and quest characters, where to find them, why they're important, how they interact with the different covenants, covenant-specific characters. More covenant characters. These look like invaders here. Yep, these are the invaders. And then you'll have an NPC reference data table. These are useful for just a quick reference. Some reference maps just for where you'll find the different NPCs and the specific levels. Seems like that could have been combined with the area maps, but I guess this is nice if you're just looking for an NPC versus having to decipher where they are amidst everything else in the area. Weapon derivation guide, a guide for New Game Plus. And then you actually have an achievement guide if you're playing on Xbox, or a trophy guide if you're playing on PlayStation, and how to earn each of the trophies, the easiest way to earn them, what the requirements are, things of that nature. Definitely handy if you're a completionist. A guide to weapon upgrades and what types of Titanite do what for upgrading. Quick guide on some of the rare enemies. And then the cover art for the game. And then we have an index. So definitely, again, if you're into the Dark Souls series, these are great references. Never fails. There's something you're missing, an Estus flask reinforcement, or you're looking for a specific weapon or spell. They come in handy there. Again, wouldn't recommend them if you haven't played the game. I would beat the game at least once before you jump into the guide. But overall, I mean, the book is gorgeous. Seems like it's got a lot of the relevant information. As we dig into it more, it'll be interesting to see if there's anything they left out, or if their boss strategies and things like that line up with the community and what the community has found. I did notice what's missing from this is in the other one is a section on the lore and some of the lore implications. So unless maybe I passed it in the guide, there's a lot of information there, so it would have been easy enough to do. But I know that's one of my favorite parts of the guides, is all the different lore and the connections there. But overall, nice guide. If you can find it for a decent price, I would recommend it. If you're someone who likes Dark Souls, you like the guides, you may just have to shop around a little bit. As always, guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check us out over at twitch.tv. We'll be streaming a lot of Dark Souls here in the next few weeks. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter so you get updates on the newest content that we upload. Both on Twitter and over on twitch.tv, our handle is of Dragons and Men, underscores between the words, just like it is here on YouTube. Thanks for joining us on this journey, guys. Go check out the rest of the playlist if you enjoyed this video. Check out the other content on our channel. We're trying to produce as much as possible for you guys. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys all again real soon.